Jake Skin of the Boxed In podcast. Delighted to be joined here by Tommy Coyle. Tommy, you are really, a legend around these places. You've done a lot for the sport, but just how good is it to see boxing back in Hull?
It's fantastic. It's great. Some of the young fighters what are on the show tonight, boxing my gym as young kids, young Louis Sylvester, what a talent he is. Great to see Ted Jackson as well making waves. It's great to have boxing back in Hull. I'm really, really pleased to be here.
Curtis Woodhouse obviously promoting this is Curtis someone that you know quite well, obviously putting on a promotion, free 156 management, Conix Live Arena. It's a big venue for a first show, and I guess I imagine you quite happy with it.
Yeah, first and foremost, 3156. A little nod to Curtis's old man. An absolute gentleman around here. 3156 done a great job, and I'm so pleased for Curtis that he's back in the game, boxing. He's got a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience to give, and I'm sure he'll put some great shows on. I'm really, really pleased to be here. I'm happy for all the boys that have been given a platform from 3156. I'm looking forward to watching some boxing again locally.
So I imagine it is really good to see that from your perspective. Obviously, Ted Jackson and Lil Sylvester, the two names that you mentioned there. Do you feel like they're hopefully kind of the cream of the crop too, that potentially are most likely to follow in your footsteps?
I don't know about my footsteps. They could go on and probably be better. We all know I want the most gifted technically, but Lewis is a superb talent. Ted Jackson again, a little bit younger than Lewis, and he's got the world at his feet. I think he's made a great move in going over to Manchester and training with the boys. I think Hull's in good hands with a young talent what's coming through, and I'm looking forward to watching how they all perform this evening.
Now, we have met before. Yeah, training one Sonny Taylor over in the Hull City Hall. What are you kind of up to now? What's Tommy Coyle up to nowadays?
You know what? I'm just really, really into my business and my family. Family first and foremost, my wife and my 3 beautiful children, and focusing on my business. I have got plans to get involved back in boxing, but when I get back in boxing, I'll be in a position where I don't need to take anything from any young fighters that I work with. I can give my time freely, and there was a man in my life who's involved in my career, Kerry Kays. And he never charged me a dime. He never took a single cent from me. And it always really, really inspired me. And I said, when I'm ready to get involved in boxing, I'll never take a penny. And I did that when I was, training Sonny and Connor and all the rest of it. But my business still needed my attention. So when my business is in a position where, I can do boxing as a hobby, that's when I'll get back involved in boxing, because I don't ever want to take anything from the sport. I just want to do it as a hobby and have no strings attached, because I've seen so many fallouts and it's not nice. I love boxing. I don't want to see it as a business. I just want to be doing it as a hobby, if I'm totally honest with you. I've got a good business. It's not great yet. I want to make it great, but yeah, that's my plan. I will return to boxing, and I'll do it for the love of it.
Do you want to give a shout out to that business, or?
Oh, it's irrelevant. Yeah, it's irrelevant. But I will be back soon.
I mean, you're here now in Hull, watching the boxing. Do you are obviously a fan, obviously supporting the local fighters? Are you a fan kind of the sport of a whole? Are you kind of keeping up to date on how things go, or like you said, are you just kind of relaxing and enjoying life?
I just love sitting on the sofa, watching boxing with people. I don't necessarily have to go to the shows anymore. I'm sure, Eddie and Frank, I stay in touch with them. I'm sure I'd be welcome at some of their shows. But I quite like watching it with my friends, just in the comfort of my own home. And if there's ever a show on in Hull, I'll never miss it. I feel like I have to support it. And, I'm intrigued to see how the boys get on as well.
Any particular fighters at the moment that are taking your fancy when watching, kind of sitting down, or?
As I mentioned, young Louis Sylvester and Ted Jackson, 2 fantastic fighters, got the world at their feet, in good hands as well, by the way. But there's a young lad called Lennox Kamara. who's coming through. Trained with me as an amateur in my amateur boxing gym, and he should have turned pro a hell of a lot earlier than he has, but he's finally turned pro. He's actually probably one lad I'd help, because I've got a deep affection for him. He's a lovely, lovely young man, and super, super talented. But he's just turned pro recently, and I'm intrigued to see how he gets on. I really am.
Finally, speaking on obviously like helping out and helping people, what advice would you have for, whether it is local up and coming boxers from Hull or just, kids in general that are wanting to pursue boxing? What advice would you have for them, whether it's amateur or professional?
Talent only takes you so far, but if you're genuinely willing to work hard and be a professional, not just a professional for Instagram so you can grab all the sponsors, be a hard-working individual, make sacrifices, but above all, and excuse my French, shit hits the fan, be able to persevere in times of adversity. And for me, success eventually is inevitable. It really, really is. Talent only takes you so far.
Tommy Coyle, thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure, mate.